Good night, folks. I'm your host, Simon Redhand, and today we're going to be talking about the Dragon's Dogma 2 controversy that's happening right now. As you guys know, Dragon Dogma 2 launched March 21st, which was yesterday after evening for the eastern side of the country, not country, the eastern players, America, North America. And today it's the international launch for everybody else. And if you jump up to Steam, what you'll see is mixed review. Even though the game is great, the game's in a good place right now. For me, it's run smooth. I know there's been some videos talking about the console performance, and some people are having some performance issues in the major towns and such like that. However, I'm not having that issue right now. I might, maybe later on. If I do, I'll definitely talk about it. You go to reviews here and you see a lot of negative reviews popping up, and the main reason for that is copious amounts of microtransactions. Capcom went all out with this one. They couldn't just get themselves a W. They had to come down here and decide, you know what we're also going to do? We're going to release an absurd amount of microtransactions to just taint this single player experience. I'm gonna go through the list here. I'm gonna show you what they have on tap, and I'm gonna try and tell you what they do in game. Rev crystals are basically the currency required to summon pawns. And the original Dragon's Dogma, there was a shop at some place in the game where you could buy cosmetics and other items. I am not far enough in the game to know that exists. I didn't get a preview copy. Bought the game myself with my own dollars, and I am currently playing through it. I got a playthrough going on. Check it out on the channel. So I don't know if there's more items that you could buy with this, but I know this is mainly to buy pawns. You buy higher level pawns, the more levels the pawns have, the more expensive they become, and this can really help you get a boost in the game if you want to stack your party up with some high level pawns to get you through some of the high level content. Well, some of the early level content, right? Eventually the pawn levels even out as your levels catch up to them. These wake stones here are one-time use only, so the reason why there's 6 variations of them, A, B, C, D, E, whatever, as you use them, they go up, so you only can buy them once. They have all the different letters on them just so you can buy 6 variations of them, and all they do is when you die or you come back to life, automatically respawn. Not sure why you would do this, because I've died a few times in game already, and your checkpoints are pretty close. Your auto saves are pretty close. You only have one save file, but when you die, the auto save is generally nearby where you died, so you don't really need this. But it's more of that pay for convenience crap that kind of stacks on top of itself and ends up being very problematic. This here though might be the biggest problem. This port crystal. If you remember the first one, you got drift crystals, and it was used to teleport yourself across the world, because Dragon's Dogma does not have a traditional conventional fast travel system. It had temporary stones, consumables that you could use that would teleport you, and it took a long quest line from the DLC, I believe, that eventually gave you a permanent port crystal. And I think it was per city, so you have to like kind of unlock a few of them. I remember correctly. I might be wrong about that. I haven't played in a long time. This here, I don't know what the makeshift gold key is for, but I assume it has a function that you needed. That's why they're giving you one. When I figure out what it's for, I'm definitely gonna make a video on that. This is a big issue for me also. This is most likely gonna cost in-game currency, changing your pawn's inclination. And the inclination is just what they use to explain how pawns decide their behavior patterns, right? So they got 4 inclinations. It's kind, straightforward, and adventurous, something like that. I have to go through it again and look again. And basically how they function is like, it'll decide whether the pawn is going to be aggressive or not, if the pawn is going to go look for items, if the pawn is going to defend you and be a healer, things like that, right? What else is here? This is straight up character reset. You create your character, your custom avatar. You don't like how it looks, came out. You don't like how the shadows are hitting your chin. You don't like how the biceps are looking in the armor. This book here allows you to recreate your character's appearance, and they're selling it for $3 right, Canadian. I don't know if there's an in-game respec that costs currency. I would assume there is, but selling respecs, or well, not respecs, but your character redesigns for real money, that's something you kind of expected, like an MMORPG, but a single player game with an extensive character creation system that you could easily mess up, because you don't know what your character is going to look like in game. Even my character, I do like the way he turned out, but there's some angles that that I would love to jump into the creator again and just kind of adjust couple sliders here and there, but paying real money for it is out of the question, right? This one here is the same thing, but for your pawn. Same exact thing, but it allows you to adjust your pawn. RP snare beacons, I would argue, is an early game advantage. If you watch my video that I'm about to put out, my first encounter with harpies was an awful experience just because of the fact that I'm playing melee. My main pawn is melee. I'm only doing a main pawn playthrough, and getting these things out of the air is so difficult. You will sit there running in circles trying to figure out how am I going to attack these things because you don't have a ranged weapon just yet, or you don't have an option yet because you're level. Them giving you this out the gate to allow you to get the harpies to come down, and it gives you a bit of an advantage. But would I pay $1.40 each time I want to do that? Hell no. Why are they selling this? Who knows? This is some nickel and dime type crap. The heartfelt pendant. This is, you can give gifts to NPCs, mainly shopkeepers, and as you do this, it will increase their affinity with you, and that will lower their prices. It might do other things, but that's initially what I know it'll do. So being to on demand buy a high affinity item like this, this can definitely be something that later on you might want to exploit, and that's this one here is probably the one I'm thinking people would buy the most of, just to max out character affinity without having to get any other special items. The Explorer's Camping Kit, it actually took me a while to figure out what the difference of this was, and I couldn't figure it out until I got into game. And when I got in game, then I understood what it was. So here it is in game. Because I have the deluxe edition, so it gave me a few of these items. If you notice here, the mundane camping kit here that you can buy from the vendor originally without getting this, it's 7 kilograms, right? So the weight of it is fairly heavy. If you don't have a big burly character or have your weight things unlocked, this thing takes up a lot of weight in your inventory. The Explorer's Kit that gets unlocked once you get the deluxe edition or buy the kit separately reduces the weight by just over 2 kilograms, well, just under 2 kilograms, right? So its main function is to reduce the weight, and that's what I figured out. Because I was looking at it, I was like, what is the point of this thing, right? It's not a big deal, but it's not something you should have to buy to unlock. Because if you look at the kit and you read it, it says it basically unlocks the ability to purchase it in shops and games. So it means if you don't even have the Dragonsdogma 2 Deluxe Edition, or you didn't purchase this directly, you can't even buy this in game. This here, Dragonsdogma Music and Sound Collection, it's additional sound effects for your Arisen. So when you go in a game, let me go to the menu real quick and show you. Over here in the options, if you go to sounds, you click on change BMG or change sounds, it'll add the additional sounds from that pack. So your characters have more, your pawns will say more things while you're in game. More music will play while you're walking around the world. It's kind of crazy that they've priced off sound effects here, just so you guys can hear the difference in the sounds. This is the normal sounds. This is what you're gonna hear if you come in and you didn't buy the deluxe edition and you didn't get that pre-order pack with the sounds. And then this is the new BMG that you're paying that premium payment for. As you can hear, it's much better experience listening to this song here. Can't go through the game and tell you all the differences and pick it up, but it's not just a flat beat that's repeating itself over and over again. This is Ubisoft territory. Ubisoft has a penchant. I used to call it that they're basically fishing for a microtransaction vehicle. They're basically, all their games, single player games, their main focus is figuring out ways that they can sell you microtransactions, and it sacrifices all the in-game content for it, all the in-game experiences for it, to make sure that they can get silly things in game like weekly item sets and weekly skills and all these little consumables that you can continuously buy. And this is heading into that territory. So the fact that you can come over here and then buy this music pack, and then it gives you additional sound effects for your pawn, additional barks that they're gonna do, and I don't know what else. The main thing I know is it's additional barks and it's music. Yeah, it's a huge problem. So the gameplay itself, I'm enjoying the game. I like the game. I don't regret buying it. I got the deluxe edition just because that's just usually how I roll. When I know I'm gonna play a game, I usually just buy the deluxe edition. It doesn't bother me. Pay the extra $10, whatever. But the fact that I didn't expect to see a whole wall of microtransactions come release day that they didn't talk about, right? It just showed up here. I get why people are not feeling it and are very ticked off. So I got the digital deluxe edition, which was additional $10 or whatever, and it came with, the Explorer's Kit. I already have that. I already have the custom sounds and all this stuff here. And To be honest, I didn't even look at what it came with. I was like, it's fine, it's whatever. You know, there's a school of thought where people are like, hey, don't buy it deluxes and don't pre-order and things like that. But me, like, if I'm gonna play the game, I have no problem doing that. But I have a big issue with like continuous microtransactions and selling Rift currency and stuff like that. And the problem is going to come in when I kind of like have to weigh and see like how difficult is it going to be to get Rift crystals, because you guys are selling me the portal stone. Is it going to cost? Is it going to be unavailable to me in game unless I buy it this way? I mean, let's see what it says here. It says the base game is required. Okay. Open a port crystal, which can set the destination of your choice. Use a fairy stone to instantly teleport your party to the port crystal location. Note, this item cannot be gifted. Okay, after purchase, the content will appear in your inventory storage. This item is obtainable in-game. Okay, I guess that's fine. It's obtainable in-game. This allows you just to start the game with it. So I wouldn't buy this. Definitely would just wait till I unlock it. I'm going to explore the world normally because I naturally want to explore and get all the stuff. But the idea that you're selling the fast travel thing immediately, crazy. And then you can only place it at a time. So just let you do more. Let's see. Okay, so it just basically gives you one. Well, depending, you could need 10 if you don't want to grind out all 10. Because I promised you the first one will be easy. Maybe the second one. I guarantee you 8 to 9 of them are gonna be super tedious to get, to the point where you might be like, maybe I'll just drop $4 at a time to get another teleport crystal instead of grinding out all 10 of these port crystals, right? They're definitely not going to make it easy to get all 10 of them. Yeah, so I understand the dislike. I get it. I still recommend the game. I still recommend it worth getting, but it might be the point where you might want to wait for a sale just because you don't want to support this practice that Capcom is doing. I totally understand that. I totally get that. As for me, I'm going to keep playing it. I already put a couple hours into it. Got my first video coming out. I am enjoying the combat. My performance is fine, but then again, I have very high-end PC, so maybe I'm not seeing it yet, or maybe I just haven't gotten to the places where those performance issues are, and maybe I will run into those same issues that people are having. So we'll see. We'll see. If I do find it, I will definitely make a video on it. Let me know in the comments what you guys are going to do. Are you guys going to keep your copy of the game if you already bought it? Did you not buy it? Were you on the fence? Are you going to decide later on to see if Capcom removes some of these microtransactions before you buy it? Let me know what you guys can do. Leave a comment down below, like the video. So thank you guys for dropping by. Appreciate you for giving me your time. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Have yourselves a good morning. If this is the only video you watching me today, a good afternoon or good night.